Yeah, I was raised Muslim, and 2.5 years ago I had a conversation with you. I said, I need to meet you. And cut a long story short, when I heard Esther maybe a few months ago, I knew it was you, and I met you May 9th in Philadelphia, and then very strange events 2 days ago. I had a very important meeting in Indiana. Last minute got canceled.
Yeah.
I was going to go to Chattanooga, and I heard you saying, come to San Francisco, and here I am. It's very strange.
It's actually normal. The sequence of events that feel like circumstance, sometimes feels like chance or happenstance, feels like coincidence. Coincidence in the way we mean it is incidences that are coinciding. Law of attraction provides those. But so many convergences. And once you get in this stream where, as you say, you know it, then life is so delicious as you watch the details of this non-physical assistance coming into place. It's like a never-ending treasure hunt. It's a never-ending being led to one delightful, what you want to call coincidences, but clearly are not, all day, every day. Every one of us knowing every one of you, knowing what you want and where you are in relationship to what you want. And the more open you are, then the more finely tuned these fun things can occur, so that you can begin to first understand that we are all in this together. Next, let's state it more bluntly, you are never on your own. Next, state it even more bluntly, it matters what you want, and all of us care about what you want, and all of us are helping you to get what you want. But you got to get yourself in a happy place somehow, so that you can receive the impulse. When you wake up in the thoughts in your head, do something about it. When you get a feeling to go eat there, which will remind you to go over there and look for something that wasn't ready yet, but you'll find something that you really, really want, you see. You're always being led to what you want, even if you are not consciously, actively aware of what it is right now, this red hot minute, because you've been putting what you want into your vortex incrementally, piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. And that vortex has been gathering, law of attraction has been assimilating, all of the cooperative components are gathered, and it's ready to burst forth in so much abundance and awareness and pleasing experiences for you. That's how this vibrational reality is turning to the thing's reality. That's how the idea that Esther has had for a very long time, finally she's in a place where she has a shelf where she wants those books. In other words, finally she's at a place where she wants to read them again. Finally she's at a place, in other words, all of the convergence of all of the things are happening. And the source within you knows the timing, knows the rightness, knows the place, knows where you are in relationship to it, and is constantly giving you feedback. And the more on point you are, the more on tune you are, the more receptive you are, the more in the receptive mode you are, the more consistently receptive you are, then the more delicious your life is, moment by moment by moment by moment. You then, and only then, really begin to be this extension of source energy here, living the way you've intended to live, not in struggle, but in constant satisfaction of the things that your life has helped you to identify are important to you, you see. And along with that comes this unconditioned, which is what an emotion is. It's the turning the thought to the thing before it's really a thing, turning the thought to a feeling before the feeling becomes the condition. It's that unconditioned, that emotion of worthiness that then just washes over you. You just have to feel the importance that you are to source. You just have to know if things that on the human scale of events could be that insignificant, matters that much, that source is guiding you step by step, impulse by impulse. You have to know how important you are to source.
Can I ask my question?
Yeah.
All my life, I would say, it doesn't matter what faith you are, if you look at a person and you don't see God in them, check your faith. But my question is, 2 months ago, I came here for a retreat. I'm a survivor of incest. I'm a child psychiatrist, and I came here with my college friends. They're all physicians, and I'm 48 now, and I fell in love with one of my college mates, and we had this relationship, but 2 months ago, he broke up with me here. We were here for 2 days, and in last 2 days, or last week, what happened, the way events happen here. So this 2 days cocoon where nobody except for a friend of mine knows that I'm here, because my phone would never stop. People would be looking where I went. I'm driving my car, and I'm saying I'm going to Tennessee. A truck in front of me says Tennessee, and I started paying attention. And I'm thinking, it's happening, but your voice, I'm always listening. You started saying something which only me and my daughter would talk. And then you said, don't go there, and your lover will come to you. A truck came by side, it says Chattanooga, Tennessee, and it goes, and the number plate says doctor is out. I'm just going crazy. I go home, and I say, okay, I'm not going there, I guess. And then I'm driving to my work next day, and everything started saying Saturday 25th. I said, okay, I'll only go there if I clearly see somewhere San Francisco Bay Area. And my phone rings, and it says San Francisco Bay Area. And a travel agent says, are you looking for business class tickets to travel to? So, no, travel agents don't usually call these days. So,
sometimes you're denser than others. Sometimes you get it on the first hint. Sometimes you get it on the second hint. Some people never get it at all.
No, I'm already sold because I know you who are. So I called my assistant. I said, okay, buy me that seminar and book the hotel. And I didn't know where the seminar was. So I come here, and that's when I looked, and I checked in. And as I'm walking in, and I'm realizing this is the hotel. And I checked into the room, and it was the same room where I was staying. This is better than, maybe I'm too thick. Maybe my IQ is 50, I don't know. I'm board certified physician. But my question is, I'm very happy. Other than, I know this person, I'm in love with him. I get everything. It's all physical, and we're non-physical, and I'm fully satisfied. I come from a third world country going to, I achieved everything, and I want no more, but I want everything. I get all of that. But now what is my question? Here I am. You called me. On the phone.
That actually is not true. We answered you. You called us.
True. I did 2.5 years ago.
In other words, it's in your vortex. It's your vortex that's being satisfied, not ours.
True. There's so much more to it. I woke up and there's a humming. This is crazy stuff. This is science fiction. I don't know what it is.
This is universal response to powerful desire. And everything that unfolds is the explanation of what your habit of vibration is in relationship to what your vibration of desire is. As life starts unfolding in these ways that you don't miss, and you start acknowledging the assistance isn't the right word, because you don't need help, the cooperation of the universe in response to the dominance of what's going on within you. We've been talking about step 1 being life causing you to ask, and step 2 being the vortex gathering, your source standing there in a vibrational reality with everything that you've asked for having come in a vibrational reality. And step 3 is you being aware that you've got to be in the vibrational vicinity of that. You've got to be a vibrational match to that in order to begin realizing, because the revelation is being broadcast to you constantly. But for you to realize it, you've got to be in a vibrational vicinity of the broadcast that's coming back from your vortex. So once you get good at that, once you decide that you care about how you feel, so that feeling good is really a dominant intention within you, and when you go to bed at night, you say, tonight while I sleep, the momentum is going to subside, and when I awaken in the morning, I can begin it again in the vibrational vicinity of that which I desire. And you consistently are holding yourself in a place of predominantly feeling good. Now we describe you as step 4 living, where you are knowing that you want to feel good, and you mostly are, and you know you want to feel good, and you mostly are. And then recently we've introduced in a stronger way to the conversation the subject. We didn't introduce it, it's been introduced forever. You've always heard it. We've begun clarifying the difference between conditional love and unconditional love. Conditional love is, I need this condition to shape itself up. I need this person to behave or this situation to come to fruition. And then when I focus upon this better condition, I will feel the relief or the feeling of what connection with source feels like. Where unconditional love means the condition doesn't have to change in order for me to find the frequency of well-being and hold it. Now that's really what step 4 living is. It's not needing the condition to change before I feel better. Esther felt much better about the painting situation before the A-team showed up. In other words, she brought herself to a place of feeling better. She felt better and then they came. They didn't come and then she felt better. That's the difference. And so that unconditional alignment means you understand the relationship between what's in your vortex, where your inner being is and everything you want is, and where you're standing right here and now, and you're working to bridge the two all the time. So then recently someone said, well, if there's a step 1 and a step 2 and a step 3 and a step 4, isn't there a step 5? Isn't there a step 5? And we said, yes. Step 5 is when you stand in your knowing of well-being, and even when you are looking at the negative emotion or the condition that you don't want, you don't feel the negative emotion. You can look at what you do not want without losing your connection to feeling good, because you're so practiced in the understanding that things are always working out for you, that it always turns out all right. You're not quick to just go to the worst case scenario. You stand strong and sure in your expectation of well-being. So it does not matter. And so we'd say this is some step 5 living that you're experiencing, because you're actually right back in the same place, in the same hotel, in the same room where something unwanted happened, and yet you're still standing in your strength. You're still standing in your clarity. You're still knowing that well-being is yours. And once you get there, then, and we got to say only then, are you ready to really get out in the world and live the way that you want to live. Because if you're a conditional liver, then you are looking for little niches where things are the way you want them, and you're getting more narrow and narrow and narrow in your experience because you're trying to hold conditions into a place that your emotions will then follow the condition. That is entrapment. That is absence of freedom. That is backwards from what you want. What you want is to have enough experiences and enough awareness, as you have described to us here, that you know that universal forces are working with you, and you know that you have a way of conjuring the emotion that you need to conjure in order to have the vibrational frequency that will cause law of attraction to respond in a way that will please you as it responds. In other words, as you get this, as you understand these universal laws, and you understand your guidance system, and you direct your thoughts deliberately because you care about how you feel, now you're free to move about your planet. You're free to move anywhere in the universe. You're free to go anywhere with anyone and stand in your wholeness. And now, in that consistent frequency, the people around the world who are a match to you are coming to you, bringing you questions and answers, bringing you solutions and even problems. Some of them bring the gift of the problem in order to give birth to the solution, which is the path that you want for this eternalness that is you. You keep thinking, oh, if I could ever get to the end of my problems, and we say, that day will never come, and we're glad to pronounce that to you. You will never get to the end of your problems because you are never going to be at the end of seeking answers. So if you can stand in the problem, delighted with it, something else to clarify, something else to get clear about, something else to enjoy, a whole other avenue of people that are going to engage and rendezvous with me in order to satisfy my thirst for eternal, ongoing life experience, you see. Nothing is better than to be incomplete, and you are eternally incomplete. We all are, you see. And that's what provides this never-ending path of sheer delight once you're living step 5. Once you know you're worthy, and you do, don't you? Once you know you're good, and how could you not know that? Once you know you're loved, could there be any question about that? Once you are finding clarity deliberately, once you start receiving these impulses and watching the payoff of them, don't you love how life just wraps itself around you and continues to express itself through you, just like you said you wanted when you made the decision to come? Really good. Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.